Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you how to make each of these swatches. Though they look very different, each of these are made using only the stitches knit, purl, yarn over and knit two together. So if you've mastered those, that you can make any one of these. Using all the same stitches but just slightly differently arranged, you can get a very different effect. If there's one in particular that you immediately want to go to, I will put timestamps on this video, but you can also find timestamps in the description box and on the bar of this video. Each swatch will differ slightly to one another in regards to how many stitches to cast on and how many rows there are in the repeat. Just as a little caveat, you might see me fumbling my purl stitches in this tutorial simply because I tend to wrap my yarn when I'm purling under the yarn, I guess. Like first go under and then over. Because of that, my stitches are then positioned differently on the right side. So if I then want to do a knit two together, I have to reposition each stitch, and it makes everything longer, and it might make it more confusing for you. I know that I'm in the minority in how I wrap my purl stitches, so to do it correctly, eventually what is correct, the effect at the end is all the same. To do it correctly, I think I have to wrap my yarn over the top. I find it very slowly and I find it very unnaturally feeling. So you will see me doing this a lot in the video, but it will be a lot more slowly and I will be fumbling. Just so that you know why I'm just not doing it in the way that I'm used to doing it for, gosh, 20 years by now. So just a little heads up. But if you're a beginner knitter and you wrap your yarn the same way I do when purling, and you notice that when you want to do a knit two together, like people tend to want to do in the tutorials, but you feel like it's always very unnatural, and might be because your stitches are positioned like they usually are for me, with the right leg on the back and the left leg in front. Or for the knit two together, you actually need it to be the other way around. So then you can just, if you want to do it, you can then just reposition it so that you slip them both off and you slip them back with the left leg in the back, the right leg in front, both, and then you can just do a proper, let's say a classical knit two together, just so you know. For swatch 1, this is the front and this is the back. You cast on a multiple of 3 stitches plus 1 extra, and this is a 4-row repeat. I have casted on for this micro swatch 7 stitches, so I can show you the pattern twice when necessary. So we start just on the right side and you simply knit every stitch. Row 2, easy enough, you purl every stitch. Row 3, where the magic happens, you first are going to knit the first stitch, and then you're going to repeat yarn over. So you put your yarn over your right needle, and then you're going to knit 2 stitches together, meaning you're going to go from left to right. You're first going to go into the second stitch on your left needle and into your first stitch on your left needle. So you're going through both, wrap your yarn, pull through and slide both of those stitches off. And then you're going to do that, and then you're going to knit 1 more stitch, knit 1. So again, the repeat is yarn over, knit 2 stitches together, knit 1. Last row, row 4, you're going to purl all the stitches. After this, if you want, after a row 4, you can easily bind off the stitches if you are done with it. Swatch 2. This is the front, the right side. This is the wrong side. For this you cast a multiple of 3 stitches plus 1 stitch, and this is a 2-row repeat. You add 1 more row at the end. As you can see with this little swatch, this does veer diagonally. So keep this in mind if you are doing this for a blanket, for instance. It'll become a little bit wonky. Can you potentially block this out? I have no idea. I couldn't be bothered to block my swatches, I'm very sorry. But you can always try yourself on a little swatch if you want to make this a blanket. For a scarf, I don't think it would matter if it's a little bit wonky. So this could be fun for a scarf, for instance. Again, I've casted on 7 stitches, so I can show you the repeat twice. We are going to start at the wrong side. Row 1 is a wrong side, and we're going to purl all the stitches. Row 2, on the right side, we're going to knit the edge stitch, and then we are going to repeat yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 1. So, yarn over, whether you yarn over this way or this way, it doesn't matter, just do whatever is more comfortable to you. Mine happens to be this way. Yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 1. Again, repeat, yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 1. If you repeat this over and over, I will advise that you then, before you bind off, you do 1 more row to close off your yarn overs, so that your last row will be a row 1. Swatch 3 is a bit similar to swatch 1, only here the eyelets are right at top of each other and here they're more alternated. This is the front, the right side, this is the wrong side. For this you cast on a multiple of 3 stitches plus 1 edge stitch, and this is an 8-row repeat. Again, I have casted on 7 stitches so I can show you the repeat twice. We start on the right side with row 1. Very simple, you knit all your stitches. Row 2, wrong side, you purl all your stitches. Row 3, right side, you knit your edge stitch, and now repeat yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 1. So again, yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 1. If you've seen the previous swatches, this is probably getting a little bit repetitive for you. Now row 4 on the wrong side, just going to purl all your stitches. Row 5, right side, you knit all your stitches. Row 6, you have guessed it, we purl all our stitches. Row 7, right side, we're now going to do a variant on the repeat to get the alternating places of the eyelets. So we are going to do stitch 1, so we're going to knit 1, our edge stitch, and then we are going to do knit 2, yarn over, knit 1. So again, knit 2 stitches, yarn over, knit 1. Last row the repeat, row 8 on the wrong side, you purl all your stitches. This is swatch number 4, the right side, the wrong side. This is a cast on of multiples of 3 stitches plus 1 edge stitch, and this is a 4-row repeat with 1 extra row at the end before you bind off, again to close up the yarn overs. This is already looking a little bit more transparent, more net-like than the previous swatches, so it does have its own little look. Again, I've casted on 7 stitches, so I can show you the repeat twice. Row 1 on the wrong side, we're going to purl all our stitches. Row 2 on the right side, we're going to knit our edge stitch. We're now going to do the repeat yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 1. Yarn over, knit 2 together, or a right leading decrease, I guess. Knit 1. Yarn over, knit 2 together, and knit 1. Row 3 on the wrong side, going to purl all your stitches. Row 4 on the right side, again we're going to knit our edge stitch at the beginning, and now we're going to repeat knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 1. So knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 1. Knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 1. So you can repeat those 4 rows. If you then want to bind off, I would suggest that you do 1 more row on the wrong side before binding off, again just to close up the yarn overs. Swatch 5. This is the right side, wrong side. Swatch 5 is rather similar to swatch 1 and 3. The difference is the spacing of the eyelets. This does again create here, I think, rather an alternating pattern in the eyelets, and the eyelets are closer together. You cast on a multiple of 2 stitches plus 1 edge stitch, and this is a 2-row repeat plus 1 extra row at the end. I have casted on 7 stitches, so I can show you the repeat 3 times. Row 1, we are on the wrong side, and you're going to purl all the stitches. Row 2 on the right side, we're going to knit our edge stitch, and then you're going to repeat yarn over, knit together. So yarn over, knit 2 together. Again, yarn over, knit 2 together. Yarn over, knit 2 together. And that's it. I would advise, if you want to bind off now, well, not now, this would be the shortest scarf ever, but I would recommend that you do row 1 once again, just to close up the eyelets before binding off. Now we're at swatch 6, rather nice. Feel like this one has more of a lace pattern than a netting pattern. Right side, wrong side. To get this, you cast on a multiple of 2 stitches plus 1 edge stitch, and this is an 8-row repeat. Again, I've casted on 7 stitches, so I can show you the repeat 3 times when necessary. Row 1 is on the on the right side, and we're just going to knit all the stitches. Easy peasy. Row 2 is on the wrong side, and we are going to purl all our stitches. Row 3 on the right side, we are going to knit our edge stitch, and then we're going to repeat yarn over, knit 2. So yarn over, knit 2. Again, yarn over, knit 2 together. Sorry, knit 2 together, not knit 2 stitches. Yarn over, knit 2 together. Row 4, purl all your stitches. Row 5, knit all your stitches. Row 6, purl all your stitches. Row 7 on the right side, we are now going to have our edge stitch at the end of our row. So we're going to start with the repeat, which is knit 2 together, yarn over. So knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over. And the knit stitch is here at the edge stitch is here at the end, so that this doesn't go away. So knit 1 edge stitch. There you are. Final row of the repeat. Row 8 on the wrong side, you purl all the stitches. And our final swatch, swatch number 7, has more of a netting, I find. This is the right side, this is the wrong side. As you can tell, this swatch as well has kind of a diagonal pull, so be aware of this. To knit it, you cast on a multiple of 2 stitches plus 1 edge stitch, and this is a 4-row repeat with 1 extra row at the end to close off the eyelets. For the last time, I have casted on 7 stitches, so I can show you the repeat 3 times. We're going to start at the wrong side and purl all our stitches. Row 2 on the right side, you're going to knit your edge stitch and repeat yarn over, knit 2 together. Yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over and knit 2 together. Row 3, we're going to purl the stitches. Row 4 are on the right side, and I do find this actually the most difficult row of them all. Our edge stitch is at the end of the row. We're going to do the repeat knit 2 together, yarn over. So we're going to knit 2 together, yarn over, again knit 2 together, in this row. What I found difficult is sometimes it's more difficult to get. What I found difficult in this row is that it was sometimes more difficult to get into this second stitch to do the knit 2 together. So if you pull it down somewhat, it is a little bit easier. So knit 2 together, yarn over. This is also difficulty, or just don't forget, when you do the knit 2 together, don't forget to do another yarn over here. Don't go from the knit 2 together to a knit stitch, because then you'll just row by row decrease your work. By the time you've realized it, you might have progressed so much that you're too frustrated. So you start all over again. If you want to bind off now, don't forget to do 1 more extra row of pearls on the wrong side, just to close everything off neatly before binding off. That was my tutorial for the 7 swatches. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, you can always ask me in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Toodles!